I low-key feel like the wife from Hocus Pocus when she runs in with those, she runs in with the curlers. Out of my house! Take your Clark bars and get out of my house!
Now, tart face, take your Clark bars and get out of my house!
That's what I feel like. Today though, we are not doing a Halloween makeup look, but actually an ugly sweater, an ugly Christmas sweater makeup look. When I think ugly Christmas sweater, I think over the top, right? That's what an ugly Christmas sweater is. It is tacky because there's just so much going on. And I want to get that same feeling with my makeup, but I still want it to be cute. We don't want to look insane, we don't want to look ugly, we want to look cute, but I think it would be really fun to just do a really over the top Christmas sparkly rhinestone green red makeup look. I just feel like you gotta go there. Get the light bulb earrings, get the reindeer horns, just go there. I will mention the products that I'm going to be using, but it's not so much about the products, it's more about the technique and the overall look. So hope you guys enjoy, take some inspiration, or just have fun relaxing on the couch with a comfy blanket. And let's go ahead and get into it. I feel like I should start with the eyes just because the eyes are going to be the main focus, and I don't know exactly what I'm doing yet. So let's prime the eyes. I'm going to use my Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Prime Eye Primer. When I do more intense eyeshadow looks, I do like to go in with an eyeshadow primer, just because I feel like they can really grip onto the shadow a bit more, and this one in particular is very white and bright, as you can see, so it really just helps the colors to pop. I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of concealer to the lower lash line while we're at it. I just find it easier for me personally to do my eyeshadow if I can kind of do it all at once, like the upper and lower lash line. I'm just going in with my Urban Decay Quickie Concealer. I haven't used this in a while, but it's such a good full coverage concealer. It's so funny because I feel like with makeup, a lot of times you look more insane and crazy as you do it, like through the process, and you don't really look good until the end. I don't know if that's just me, but it's not a continual getting better effect, I feel, when I do my makeup. It's like crazy, 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 crazy. Okay, good. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Hello, there you are. I am going to be using an indie eyeshadow palette, actually. This is from Unearthly Cosmetics. It is their Strawberry Milkshake palette. I think this might be discontinued, so I'm sorry that you can't get your hands on it, but any green or red eyeshadow will do the trick. I'm just using this because this has what I need. But again, it's not really about the products, it's more about the tones. Although I will say Unearthly has some amazing, amazing eyeshadows. I think since I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to do one eye off camera first, and then I'll come back and we'll do the other eye together. Okay? Okay friends, I am back. Here is the look we're going to be doing. If my hair rollers look different or my eyebrows look different or whatever, it is actually the next day. And the reason is because yesterday I was just trying to do, I think, too intricate of a look. So I wanted to do something that was a little bit more approachable and easy. Most of us probably don't want to spend 5 hours doing our eyeshadow. I mean, I do, because I love doing eyeshadow, but I think most people, they don't want to spend too long. So this is why we're doing something a little bit more simple. I think it's still really fun and impactful, but I think anyone can achieve it. So I'll show you what I did. So to start off, I'm going to take a deep green eyeshadow, and I'm just going to load up my brush, and I am basically just creating the shape that I want. So I'm pressing that into the outer corner, kind of up at an angle, and then I'm going to do a little C here, like a hook. Now I go slightly above, here's my crease, but you can see my eyes are pretty deep set and they're a bit hooded. So if I were to go just directly into my crease, you wouldn't necessarily see the shadow. So that's why I go a little bit above out here. And then I tilt my head back and I, without adding any more pigment to the brush, will just lightly sweep that into my crease. I didn't want to bring the dark shade too high up in this inner portion because I want to have a little bit of lift. So I'm keeping the dark shade higher out here and then angling it down as I get closer to my inner corner. Blend that shade out a bit. And don't worry if it's looking a little patchy at this point. we are going to go in with a lighter shade over top of it to help blend everything together. Sometimes going in with the deepest shade right away can be a little bit more patchy because it's such a deep shade on your skin tone, but this is the way that you're going to get the most impactful depth. If you go in with a lighter shade first and then layer the deep shade on top, it's just not going to be as vibrant. So we are going to go in with a lighter, almost like neon-y lime green color, and I'm pretty much just pressing that all over where we just placed the deep green. And you can see that sort of just fills in the gaps. Press that into this inner crease, but we're going to take it a little bit higher since it's a lighter color here. And then I want to take that same light green, you can use any light green, and just press that all over the lid. We are going to go in and cover this up pretty much with a shimmer, but I wanted there to just be a little bit of a base pigment there. And then I'm going to go back in with the deep green again and just re-intensify this outer corner. I did want to make this a little bit more frosty, I guess. So I went in with this, it's sort of a cream shade, but it's got a little bit of a, I don't know, slightly greenish gray undertone. Again, you can use any cream white shade. I would recommend something maybe a little bit more cool tone, like undertone wise, if you can, or you can totally skip this step altogether. I don't know, I just think it sort of mutes the green a little bit and creates a little bit of frostiness. You see what I'm saying? Pressing that all over the edges basically, and then I am going to take that in the inner corner. Again, we are going to go in with a shimmer here, but I just wanted there to be a base. And then for the lower lash line, basically I'm just going to mix the two greens. Basically, I'm going to use this more across the whole entire lower lash line, and then I'll take the darker green like halfway across, I guess. And I kind of want to connect it out here too. I'm bringing it down a bit lower than you might think. I really want it to pop. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of that lighter green. I want it to kind of peek out from the deep green here to create a gradient. I took this little Star Show shadow pot from Moira. It's just a white icy shimmer shade that you can kind of spread out and make it more piecey, or you can build it up for more intensity. And basically I just tap that all like over everything. I wanted it to create a very like frosted sort of a look. So I'm taking it all over the lid and then up into the crease and sort of out towards the brow as well. And then, again, you don't have to do this step. I think it looks cool just like this, but I did want to cool the look down a little bit. So I went into my Undergrowth palette from Cosmic Beauty and I reached into the shade Vegetation and just pressed that on the lid. But I'm not covering up the deep outer corner. And I'm gonna take some of the icy white sparkle and pop that in the inner corner. And then we'll take the other shimmer and pop that on this lower lash line right here. Now for the fun part, let's do some rhinestones. So you can place the rhinestones wherever you want. You can skip the rhinestones. I just think they look like little snowflakes, so I wanted to add a little something extra. So what I like to do, I have this little rhinestone applicator. I just got it off Amazon. It was maybe $5. It picks the rhinestones up really easily, and I just find it a lot easier than trying to grab them with tweezers. All you have to do is tap this on the rhinestone and it just sort of like sticks to it without glue or anything. But you could totally use tweezers if you don't have this. I also have this little rhinestone set, has just silvery rhinestones, all different shapes, which I really like. But if you don't want to just go in with silver, you could definitely use a color. I pulled these just because I thought maybe I would use some red or something, but I really like the way the silver looks, so we'll see. Maybe we'll add some of these light green because I think that could be really pretty too. So I'm mostly going in with the tiniest size of the rhinestones. You could try to dot the glue onto the rhinestone, but I think it's easier to dot the glue onto my skin directly, you just dot on the glue, give it a second to get a little tacky. So when you pick it up, you want to make sure you have the top touching your applicator because you want the flat part obviously to go on your skin. And then you just tap it where you put the glue. And that's basically it. Super easy. So I'll go ahead and try to get these as symmetrical as possible. And then I'll add some mascara, probably some lashes, and then we'll move on to the face. Okay, eyes are done. I think they look really cool, so let's move on to the complexion. For a primer, I'm going to use my NYX The Face Glue, because if we're going to a party, we want our makeup to last. I'm still testing this primer out, but so far I'm really liking it. The look and the consistency still freaks me out, if I'm being totally honest. So we're just going to rub that in. It is very thin, easy to spread, which I really like about it. Very spreadable. Why do I always think of peanut butter when I hear the word spreadable? And then when it starts to dry down, it gets a little bit tacky. For foundation, I'm gonna go with one of my favorites, the Maybelline Super Stay 24-Hour Skin Tint. It's not really a skin tint, it's more of a foundation. I'm gonna mix two shades, 118 and 110. This foundation is so beautiful. It gives you high medium coverage. You could probably build it up to full coverage, but it's so thin and it has a subtle luminosity to it that just looks so healthy and natural on the skin. It's one of my favorite foundations of all time. So I did a thing. I just wanted to take it even further, so I'm popping on more gemstones. The ugly sweater is over the top, so we just gotta go there. The nice thing about the rhinestones that are on this clear sheet is that they're already pretty sticky on the back, so you don't necessarily have to go in with glue. Although I will say, if you're gonna be dancing, wearing this for a long time, I would still suggest going in with a lash glue, just to really make sure they're locked in. Obviously, you can do as many or as little rhinestones as you want. You want to try to get them as symmetrical as possible, but obviously, you know, mine is not perfect, so we're just gonna ignore that. For concealer, I'm gonna go in with a full coverage concealer, one of my favorites, the Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealer. Smells a little bit like paint, but it's great for a super glam makeup look. I'm kind of going 2016 style with the concealer today. And then I'm going to blend that out with my Singe FO2 concealer brush. Work a little quickly with this concealer because it is a little bit more on the matte side, so it dries down relatively quickly, but it's really good if you have dry skin and you want a full coverage long wear concealer. And obviously I'm being very careful around the eye area because I don't want to ruin all of our hard work. Oh, that concealer is so good. I feel like a different woman. I'm gonna do the lips next just because I think it'll help me see the vision. Because right now we're looking a little crazy. All right, so I'm gonna take my Makeup Forever Aqua Lip in 8C. These are really, really nice, highly pigmented, but creamy, long wear lip liners. For the lipstick, I'm gonna take this one from L'Oreal. This is their Flammable Until Dry. That's a little scary. Oh my gosh. It's just their liquid lipstick in 245 French Kiss. It's a really pretty red with a slight pinky undertone. Oh yeah, there we go. I swear the lip always helps me to see the full effect, the full finished product. Gosh, I did not make these eyes symmetrical. Just ignore that, okay? For liquid bronzer, I'm gonna take my Physicians Formula Butter Glow Contour one. I love this. Oh, it's so good. It looks intense, but when you blend it out, it looks super natural somehow. It's a really close to the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. Oh gosh, I got way too much. The good thing is, even if you go in with entirely way too much like I did, it blends and still somehow looks natural. Okay, these rollers are getting on my last nerve. So I will say that I don't like this packaging very much because the product sort of dries out on the sponge tip, so it can be a little bit patchy. So you have to kind of squirt it out to get fresh, non-dry product, if that makes sense. So I wish it was just a doe foot or like, I don't know, a pump. But if you get the fresh product, it's really good and it doesn't lift up product underneath. It's not patchy. And you see, it's just really impactful while still somehow looking natural. I don't know how they did it. It's beautiful. And I am gonna take my foundation brush and just blend that in a bit. I normally wouldn't apply this much, but if I were going to a ugly Christmas sweater party, obviously I'm anticipating we're gonna be taking photos, so I want the makeup to show up in photos. And I also, you know, I'm just going over the top here. It's a look. You're not doing understated. We're not doing no makeup. We're doing, I'm wearing makeup. And it's fun. For cream blush, let's go in with this one from Juicy Pang, or it's from Apu. It's a K-beauty brand. It's like a cream to powder formula that is a puttyish texture. It's a really pretty, soft, baby pink blush. Oh yeah. To set the makeup, I'm going to use my favorite setting powder of all time, the Sigma Beauty Soft Focus Setting Powder in Vanilla Bean. This is such an underrated setting powder. Such a gorgeous, perfecting, heavy-duty setting powder that looks amazing even if you have dry skin. Ugh, so beautiful. So I'm just taking a smaller brush through the T-zone and under the eyes. It does have a slight tint to it, so I almost feel like it adds a little bit of coverage almost, which I really appreciate for more glam looks. And then I'm going to take a fluffier brush to set the rest of the face. Oh, just gives you doll skin. It's so good. My hair is on its last leg, but that's okay. For powder bronzer, I'm gonna take this little Go Off face palette from the Lip Bar. I love this palette, and I feel like the Lip Bar is very underrated as well. Ugh. Actually, it's called their Minute Finish face palette. I have the shade Go Off. I love this bronzer. It's very pigmented, but the tone is so good if you have a more olivey complexion like I do. It's not too warm. It's not orange, but it's also not gray. There's something about it that is just perfect, and it's just a very soft, beautiful finish. And I'm gonna take a little bit, just a little bit on the nose. I like to create a little button nose. So I kind of do a horizontal line across, and then I do a little circle. Take a little bit underneath the bottom lip. And then I'm gonna take this highlighter because it is gorgeous. It's not the most intense highlighter in my collection, but it's really smooth on the skin. I feel like this highlighter, compared to some of my other ones, does not emphasize texture nearly as much. And then why not? Because we're here, we'll set our cream blush with the powder blush that's in this palette. Kind of going over the highlight as well. I'm just taking my powder brush and going around the edges. I didn't add anything, I'm just making sure there's no harsh lines. Okay, I think that's it, right? Yeah, let me take the hair out. Finally! Ooh. So satisfying. Ooh, I feel like Martha May So glam, so holiday. So yeah guys, that completes this look for our ugly Christmas sweater party. I think it's so fun. Definitely a little out there, but I think that's what an ugly Christmas sweater party is about. It's just over the top, green, reds, sparkles, super intense, and just a lot of fun. And I had so much fun creating this look, just playing with makeup, experimenting. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you guys would wear this look. What sort of makeup would you wear to an ugly Christmas sweater party? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all are having a wonderful holiday season, and I wish you the very merriest of Christmases.